So guys, welcome to another edition of Rage Against the Dice. Today we'll continue on with our look at Doctor Who Into the Time Vortex. And we're looking at the anatomy of one of the playing cards, which is how you pick your forces. I've got the two main ones that you get in the Exterminate set, which is Cybermen and Daleks, and then I've put the Doctor. I chose the 10th Doctor just because of the ones that have currently been released. He's a lot of people's favourites. So we're going to go into exactly what is on the cards. So straight away you can see these symbols down the side here. This first one, the blue, what looks like a time wheel or cog, which on this case has a number 6 in, is the maximum number of inches that a miniature is able to move during the movement subphase. Then underneath you've got a shield, which is your resilience, which is if you're being shot at or you're that kind of thing. It works as if it was your body armor, it was your health, etc., etc. And that's how many dice you would roll when you're being shot at in defense. So the one underneath, that's melee, and this says +1, so it gives you +1 to any melee. So it's how many dice again you would roll during a melee. And then the bottom one, which is like the red target, that is shooting. So you can see on the Doctor here, he's got a 6 for movement. He rolls 4 dice to defend. He rolls +1 on top of any additional dice his weapon gives him. And then the same with shooting. He rolls +1 there. Now down in the corner here, you'll see that it's got the special character icon. And in this case, it's got the Doctor Who symbol because he's the Doctor. Now any special traits or anything like that are written down here. The Doctor having unique, wounds 2, all hope is lost, and my stuff, which is a sonic device. And the cool thing about that is, boom, at present they're all written on the back. Now that could change at later points and you might find this information in the rulebook, but it'll most likely have like a page reference or something like that for quick finding for you. But you can see here the Doctor's unique. You cannot have more than one Doctor in your faction. And then wounds 2, when this character is shocked or exterminated, receive 1 blood token up to a maximum of 2 instead of applying the result. All hope is lost. Once per game, a faction with one or more character with this trait can exchange all of its battle cards for the same number of fate tokens. Now you'll see here, this is the fate token symbol, and it'll tell you how many fate that character gets. Now the good thing about fate tokens is they don't have to be used on the character who supplied them. So although it says the Doctor gets 2, they can be used on anyone else on that Doctor's same side. Which is pretty cool. It means that, you know, like if you take a Dalek patrol leader, he gets a fate token or 2 fate tokens without looking at it. Maybe it's 1, maybe it's 2. It's irrelevant. We'll have a look at that at a later point. The point is, a normal Dalek can use that. And then back to the card anyway, because I'm digressing. My stuff, Sonic Device. The Doctor can select and be equipped with the Sonic Device Adventure card. This card does not count towards the faction's adventure cards allowance, so as well as the 5 adventure cards you'd normally get for your side, the Doctor also gets the Sonic Device one. And I'm assuming that Sonic Device, without looking at it, gives you some abilities towards melee and or shooting, and these would be taken into account. Up at the top it tells you who the character is, or who the card is. It shows a picture of it, and down here where it says number 1, it's how many this card provides. So this is 1 Doctor. If you look at, say, the Cybermen here, the Cybermen says 4, so you get 4 characters for this 1 card. Now the good thing about that is you don't have to keep them as a unit, so you can send those 4 Cybermen off individually in, you know, any direction you want. Then it's worth noting down here it shows the symbol, and that just tells you which set they came in. So these two have the same, which is a TARDIS, which is the Exterminate set, which is the main box set, and then the David Tennant one, as you can see down there, has 10th, and that's just a way to be able to organise all your cards and stuff better, and be able to put them back together again, because obviously with the 10th Doctor you also get Donna and Rose and Wilf and Martha, and it's just an easy way of doing that. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're just going to take a look at the Cyberman card there. He can move 4, he defends with 3 dice, when he's in melee he has 5 basic, and he has no extra towards his shooting. Now his 2 skills a melee 2, and unstoppable. Let's have a look what they do. So you can see here, melee 2. This miniature follows the rules for multiple attacks described in page 12 of the rulebook. And that's something we'll come into when we look at the rulebook itself in a bit more detail. And then unstoppable. The controlling player may discard a battle card from his or her hand to remove 1 under fire token immediately after the miniature receives one. So you'd discard one in your hand and you'd get rid of that. Really handy for if you haven't got initiative and somebody's shooting at you. And then the last card we're going to look at today is a Dalek Patrol. Now he's got a movement of 6 because Dalek are fast. He defends with 4 because Daleks are tough. He's only got a +2 on the combat because he's only armed really with a plunger and his little whisk. You do get things like your weapons. He's armed with an improvised weapon and that would give him extra. But as a base, that's what he gets. And then he gets no extra towards his shooting. So it would just be whatever dice he would roll for his shot, which is 4 or 8. But again, that's something we'd go into at another point when we look at those kind of things. And then the 2 skills he has are Override and Tank. Now, Tank means this creature is so bulky or cumbersome that it cannot claim cover when being shot at. So that's one of those things. The Daleks are really tough in this game, but I think a lot of people forget the fact that the Daleks can't hide behind any kind of cover, meaning that they're always getting hit with the best dice possible for that particular shot. And then Override. So when affected by under fire markers, a Dalek character can still resolve shooting actions, but only scoring hits on a lightning bolt instead of on an explosion due to the effects of being under fire. All of the rules for shooting and for being under fire apply normal, because when you're under fire, you normally can't shoot. But with that, you are able to. So it means that Daleks can normally. And Daleks are armed with an energy weapon, meaning that they would normally hit on an explosion or an exterminate, which is the arrow. However, if you've got an under fire token, it would only be on the exterminate icon. It does make it a little harder to shoot. So yeah, that's the 3 mains: Dalek Patrol, Cyberman, and the Doctor. I think what we are going to do is when we do the next set of unboxing videos, I believe they're going to be either the Judoon or Zygons. When we do that, we will look at the cards for them at the time. They come in the main Exterminate set. They don't come with the Judoon models. That's not to say they won't in the future. It's just at present you get them from the Exterminate set. But yes, so that's just a quick brief overview of how the anatomy of a card looks. If you were picking your forces, what you would do is you would decide either via the scenario, etc., how many points. So if you were saying 3 cards, you would pick anything up to 3 Dalek cards, and you can play. This one has 3. There's others that have 2, but give you a fate token, and then there's things like Davros, Dalek leaders. Later on, I know they're adding special weapons Daleks and things like that. And with the Doctor, you'd pick 3. So you'd pick the Doctor, and then you could pick 2 of his companions. And that would be how you arrange it. I know you can add other things, like I think you can have Judoon and stuff with him. But yeah, so that's a quick look at those cards. Rules are on the back. Everything you need to play is on the front. Once you've played with a character a few times, you really learn their skills quite quickly, and the cards become just a very brief reference. But yep, I think they're a fantastic little addition. I would still like to see a points value style system added, maybe for tournament play or something like that, just to add a bit more of a level of balance to it. But I think as a first game and a first sort of quickly getting you into it, the cards work brilliantly. Anyway, I shall leave it on that. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully you'll tune in for our next lot. I believe the next Doctor Who video we're doing are the Missy and Davros painting tutorials. I could be mistaken. We film multiple in order, and then we put them up in an order which we forget which we'd originally filmed in. But again, digressing. Like, comment, subscribe, the usuals, and pray the dice gods hope to smile upon you. Alon Z.